Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. And today we're going to be looking into this album's 15-year anniversary. It's hard to believe this album is now 15 years old, which is nuts. And it's from, like I said, the band that got me into metal once before. As you can see, well, it's out. Today we're going to be looking into Mezmerize by System of a Down, the band's fourth album released on May 17th, 2005 through American Records. Now, this is, of course, the follow-up to, I believe, their kind of like B-side, what I would consider like their B-side album, and like Leslie's talked about albums to this album. But with this album, like around this time, around 2000, late 2004, 2005, the band had released and recorded like a bunch of songs, and that was like split up into two parts. And the first part we're going to be talking about is, of course, Mezmerize. And this album is kind of different compared to like some of their classic stuff like Toxicity. I feel like this is pretty much kind of like where System of a Down kind of went more of a mainstream style, in the mainstream, sort of like, well, really much known. I don't know, it's just hard to explain it. And from what I've heard in recent interviews, this album, along with the follow-up album, which would come out 6 months later, Hypnotize, this almost didn't happen because I heard Serge didn't even wanted to do those albums. And pretty much the rest of the band pretty much begged him to do it. And I don't know why he wouldn't want to do it, because this album, and of course, like I said, the next album after this, Hypnotize, which would be of course their last album or most recent album today, has some really great songs. And I know it's kind of different. It's more, I don't know, I feel like it's more like polished, and just vocally, Serge Tankian I don't know, he delivers so much emotion into his singing, and as well as, of course, Darren Malakian. I feel like this album, along with Hypnotize, was where Darren started singing a lot more with Serge, and his vocal, him and Serge's vocals, like the way they like harmonize together is just amazing. Like Serge sort of like doing more of the lower stuff, and Darren sort of like doing the higher stuff. And the guitar tone on this album is pretty great. I mean, Darren can do no wrong with guitar playing. The bass on this album, I kind of wish was turned up more, but I definitely feel like Shavo Adagian does really great. And drumming wise, John Dolmayan just does a really great job on the drums. But then again, he's, in my opinion, one of the most underrated drummers in just rock and metal, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Soldier Side Intro, which is not really much to say about this song. It's just clocking in at like a little over a minute. And it pretty much just very calm and soothing thing, where it has like Darren sort of like in Serge sort of like saying, "Welcome to the soldier side, where there's no one else but me. People all grew up to die," and stuff, which is a pretty very calm song, but pretty much would prepare you for what would to follow. And the next song being BYOB, which I believe is one of the first singles from this album. It just kicks in with a sick like guitar intro, and then boom, all hell breaks loose with this song. And this is pretty much one of my favorite System of a Down songs. It's lyrically, it's very political, like song lyrics like why they always send the poor, but I feel like System aren't just a political band, they're more of a social conscientious band, as said in one interview. But it's a really great song, just some really great riffing and some insane drumming from John Dolmayan. Like, he does some blast beats on this song, which is just insane, which I don't think you really hear any blast beats on a System of a Down song, but it somehow fits, and he's a really great drummer. And there's one of his best drumming performance on this album. Anyway, let's move on to Revenja. Kind of like starts off with like very calm guitars, and then boom, just hits up with some very chugging like guitar, or is right here, and it just, I don't know. And I sort of like there's like a little calm parts right in there when sort of like Darren says, "I saw her laugh, and then she said go away," and it's just filled with emotion. So it's a pretty good song. Next up we go into Cigaro, which is a pretty silly song. Like musically, it just like hits you right in the face, but the lyrics are just, I don't know, they're just laughable. But like I mentioned before, my Sillis album review, like their lyrics, System's lyrics are pretty much just weird, but I just don't understand it. But I don't know, they're just fun to listen to. Like Cigaro's lyrics is like, "My cock gets much bigger than yours. Yours and my shit stinks better than yours." I don't know, it's just a weird song. But yeah, then we go into Radio/Video, which is kind of like what I would consider to be one of the ballads on this album. It has like a ballad. I feel like the material. It's Serge and Darren sort of like going back and forth a little bit. I don't know. No, that's a bit of like heavier moment, especially in like the chorus, but it has a sort of like a ballady vibe to me. Then we go into This Cocaine Makes Me Feel Like I'm on This song. This song is pretty much is System in a nutshell. It's basically like Serge like singing just really fast, which just makes no sense whatsoever. And just some really fast guitar work on this track, which I don't know. No, but somehow the lyrics on this song just doesn't. Like the title doesn't make sense because lyrically they're not even singing about like cocaine or something, which I don't know. Then we go into another one of my favorite songs on this album, Violent Pornography. It's a very fast and catchy song. But it's kind of like weird compared to Cigaro, but not as weird. I don't know what I mean, but especially like the lyrics is like everybody living now, everybody fucks, everybody living now, everybody sucks. Shows like Serge and Darren just going really fast, and the chorus is just pretty weird and catchy. It's like it's a violent pornography, choking chicks and sodomy, that kind of shit you see on TV. It's a pretty interesting song, and I really love Serge and Darren's vocals, just like going really just like really fast, hyper fire. But I love sort of like the end of the song with Serge sort of like doing a la 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 la, which gives it like a bunch of energy, and then it just ends pretty soothing. And then we go into the next song on here being Question, which is one of the slower, if you can call it that, songs on this album. But it has pretty much some acoustic guitars right in here. And the lyrics are kind of like weird. It's just like sweet berries ready for ghosts are no different than you. Yeah, but it has some really great guitar work on here. Moving on to Sad Statue, which has a pretty simple guitar intro, and it just some really great lyrics. It has like especially like the chorus kind of goes slow, and some good lyrics of like Serge and Darren saying, "You and me will all go down in history with a sad statue of liberty in a generation that didn't agree." Some really good song. And then we go into Old School Hollywood, where I don't know. In my opinion, it's a okay song, but I don't know. It's probably like my least favorite song. I don't know. It just some reason it doesn't like attach to me as all the rest of the album does. And then we go into the last song on the album being Lost in Hollywood, which is a bit odd of a choice of a song. Really, it's a kind of like, in my opinion, sort of like similar to Radio Video. It's sort of like a ballad, another ballady song, which is pretty much about. It's all about, like, as quote in the song, like the Hollywood fags, according to what Darren's singing. It pretty much drags out. It's like 5 minutes long. It's pretty much the longest song on the album. But it has some. I really love like the bridge in that song with Serge and Darren, and with Serge like doing the ahs, and sort of like Darren sort of like doing the ahs, and then Serge sort of like singing the lines in the letter said, "We have come to hack and sack." I don't know. That's probably a great song, and that sort of like builds up in the chorus, and then it just ends just pretty solid. Now overall, Mezmerize by System of a Down, it's a pretty good album. It's kind of like different compared to like some of their other stuff like Toxicity, the self-titled, or even still this album. So if I had to give this album a score, I'm probably going to give this probably a solid 8 or an 8.5 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.